just going to go ahead and say the quiet part out loud. Applying straight glycerin to your hair in Central Florida in the summertime is wild work, like the wildest of work. But we are back and we are remixing the glycerin wash and go. Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the King, a natural hair channel. First thing I'm going to do, I have the conditioner in my hair. I'm someone who rinses and styles my hair at the same time. It just makes sure that the hair is like as wet as it needs to be and so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and get the conditioner out, and we're going to get into the different products that I'm going to be using. So we're still using the glycerin, obviously, because glycerin is glycerin, but I did switch out the curl cream, and I also have switched out the gel for this method. Oh, and by the way, I don't think I gave an overview of it. If you're not familiar with what the glycerin wash and go is, going viral on TikTok, and the creator, I'm going to link her down below. I never can remember her name, but credit is due, so we're going to give the credit. But basically, it's a routine where you do your hair in small sections, soaking wet, smoothing, no raking. You apply a curl cream, the Talia Wajid curl cream, which is really strong, like not really strong, but like really heavy and weighs the hair down. Then you layer over it a gel called gummy gel, and then you finish the section with a little bit of glycerin over the top of it. It produces a wet look. I didn't necessarily get a super separated out what people think of with wet look for my results. If you did not see my results, go and check out the videos that I have. I think I will just link them at the end of this video. So anyway, yes, now let's get back to actually rinsing the conditioner. So the sections for the glycerin wash and go are really, really small. So I have my old school flat iron rows. It's something I used to do when I did my wash and goes back in the day. So guys, the curl cream that I'm going to use for this one. So the Talia Wajid that's in the original, it is very heavy, okay? It immediately weighs the hair down and brings the curls out strictly because it's a heavy product. Now, I kind of went a little bit of a different route because I don't think any curl cream, unless y'all can tell me about them in the comments, is going to do what the Talia Wajid product did. So, here's what I chose to go with, okay? So, I chose the BodyWorks Pudding Soufflé. It's a soft hold styler that they have. Okay, now, full disclosure, BodyWorks did give me a gift card. That's how I purchased this. And I do have a discount code with them. I think it's 15% off, and I think the code is just What the King. If it's not that, whatever, I'll correct it in the description box. But anyway, I chose the pudding souffle because number one, the ingredients, so that it's going to be a little bit of a heavier curl cream, probably not on the level of Talia. It also has an ingredient for hold. It's not at the top or anything like that, but it does have an ingredient that's supposed to provide hold. And the Talia product has glycerin in the product. There's glycerin in this one as well. So that's why I went with it. Moment of truth. I'm applying some here and then pulling it through the roots. I highly doubt that it is going to pull the curls into definition like the Talia. It's not going to happen. But one thing I like about this product is that it is easily and readily available, especially for the people who are in the U.S., because the original creator is not in the U.S. But this is easy to get, and the BodyWorks products are inexpensive as well, and you get so much for how much you pay. All right, so let's see. What does it look like? Okay, wait a minute. It did more than I thought. Wait a minute, Kayla. It did more than I thought. Okay. Okay. It did more than I thought. All right, so let's move on to the next product in the glycerin wash and go, and that is the hard hold gel. Okay, so in the original, they used the gummy gel. Now, the way that it worked is that the Talia product felt like heck no, I was not going to rake that. I don't want to like have that on my hair and then try to put my hands through it. And then the gummy gel got on there and like added slip, and it's also a stronghold gel. Thing about the gummy gel is that it's not easily available, so everyone who's probably using it is probably buying it on Amazon. So what did I do? I picked up Eco Styler. Okay, the ingredients of the gummy gel, honestly, they don't seem that different from Eco and Wetline. Okay, your standard drugstore heavy hold gel, they don't seem that different. Now listen, I thought I was picking up regular Eco. I accidentally picked up, y'all check it out, it's pretty packaging. I picked up rosemary mint oil. It smells lovely. But I tend not to have the best track record with the other eco stylers. They tend to not have as much hold as like old school eco. So I would suggest trying Eco Crystal with this. I'm going to go ahead and use what I got though. Again, eco, easily available, inexpensive, so on and so forth. All right, so I'm going to get some and I'm going to put it over. It doesn't have that instantly like slippery slip feel like the other products had, but it's added slip, but in a thick kind of way. And I think that's marrying with the cream. By the way, before I did this, I did mix these two products together on my hand to see what they would do. So I would still test it out if you get Eco Crystal, even though the ingredients are probably about the same. There's not that much difference between the Eco Style gels, but for me, I just can't get the same level of hold for the other ones. Right, so I'm really trying to separate so my hair is not stuck together at the roots since there's no raking involved in this. I have seen some people who are doing it and they are raking, but the original creator is like, girl, no, we are not raking. So I'm trying to stay true to what she has. So this is it. I did lose a little bit of the cream on my hands, but that's what we're working with so far. And then I'm going to add the glycerin. This is the part that is absolutely bananas for someone living where I live. If you do not understand what I am saying, please go check out the level of humidity. Look up Daytona Beach, Florida. Okay, because that's in my area. Daytona Beach, and then look up the humidity level and get back to me. If you're watching this video after the fact, this video is being filmed in June going into July. So July, okay? July, go check it out. Okay, I'm gonna apply some glycerin here. I will say not a lot was applied in the original, you know, but at the same time, y'all, it don't take much. It don't take much out here. Okay, so this section has tons of product. It has glycerin. It is defined. I just don't know if it's going to give us what the other one gave. But let's see. Let's do a couple more sections here, and we will see how my remix did. All right, guys, so these are the results with Kayla's version so far. You guys can look at it. Here's the top part of my hair. Here is all up and through here. I zoomed a bit in the camera, but here we go. I will say in the back left section, I did have a little bit of gummy left. So I did do a bit of that here with the gummy gel because I knew it wasn't enough for me to take that gummy gel and like do something with it for real on its own. So that's gummy gel over here. And I will say the gummy gel does have quite a bit of slip, even with this combo. And Eco doesn't have like a ton of slip in my opinion. So it definitely, maybe wetline would be good. But the thing is, I didn't have wetline when the store that I was just in when I picked this up. And also, I feel like Wetline in the past has betrayed me. It used to be one of my favorite gels. It does have a little bit more slip than Eco, but they started to have less and less hold, and that was the issue. So I'm going to do a similar drying method. The original creator of the Glycerin Wash and Go air dries, and I did a boosted air dry where I did a little bit of time under the dryer, let it air dry most of the day, and then a little bit more time under the dryer. So I'm going to do it that way again. It's just air drying something like this with this much product 100% is just not really realistic, and especially considering, like I said, guys, we're in Florida. Okay. We are in Florida in the summertime. Let me tell you, I've had a very eventful morning and it's barely after 9 a.m. already. Okay. First thing I did was I went to the school that my daughter goes to drop her off for the morning. And when I got out of the car, immediately felt the moisture in the air, guys. And typically it's very humid here almost year round, but I normally don't notice it because I live here. Other people come here and visit and notice it. I would like to speak for the locals and say that most of us just don't notice it. So I noticed it, like both going in the building and coming out of the building. Well, then I needed to run by Aldi. I will sometimes run errands on my way back home. So that way when I get home, I'm like ready to like start working. So I'm like, well, let me go to Aldi. I guess I must have been a couple of minutes ahead of schedule because Aldi wasn't even open yet. They open at 9 a.m. So it's like, okay, I'm going to stand here. Well, they were a little late opening Aldi. So I had stood outside in front of Aldi and it is like so moist in the air. So moist. But the nice lady that was next to me complimented my hair and said that my hair is just so beautiful. So it's like, well, at least I'm looking good out here. But yeah, the whole time, the point that I'm making is that whole time my hair was being exposed to crazy humidity and I have glycerin on my hair. So I have no doubt in my mind that the creator gets wonderful, beautiful results and other people have been getting great results with this. But it's just, I don't think it's compatible with the climate where I live, guys. It's just not the best technique for here. So yeah, I could tell you that my version feels less producty. I don't feel, and I use the same amount of glycerin and everything. So I think it's just the fact that I didn't use the Talia cream is why it feels less producty. It feels more soft. The curls are just as defined. I feel this looks like the results that I got in the last one. Y'all let me know if you think that it's different. I feel like they look very similar. I know that for this one, because it doesn't feel like as sticky, I'm probably going to be more likely to wear more of it out when I morph this into another style, because please believe we're going to morph this into another hairstyle. I'll probably start with pushing my hair back, and then I'll start half up, half down, and then I'll probably do like a pony puff, and we'll just keep proceeding that way until I'm ready to wash it. So I'm probably not going to do any more content remixing this, but I think areas that I would change this is number one, it needs some sort of step where you're trapping water. That works very well for my hair type. So I would want to trap water by doing maybe a very light leave-in or a custardy type gel or something, and then find a style with the creams, but larger section so you automatically use less. And then the final product cannot be glycerin where I live. It needs to be like maybe the gels that were used, but in much larger sections, glazed over as like to kind of encase the cream styled hair to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. I think that's what that would do to get a little bit of a better result, more long lasting result for me out here in these Florida streets. Also, my mom was really obsessive about these shirts, so I'm wearing it in the video. Okay, this is my family's name. I'm a part of this really large family, and this is our name. So she was acting crazy about it. I have the shirt on, and my daughter has the baby shirt she had made on as well. So we're wearing the shirt, Mom. We're wearing the shirt. Anyways, guys, check out my other glycerin washing over related content. I make videos every week. Subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next one.